Hello everyone. So in this session we are going to start learning about the convergent evolution. In the last session we started collecting the evidences for evolution of life forms. So we are in the chapter 7, the name is evolution. In that evolution chapter we have come across the how the universe formed, how the life formed, how the earth formed, and then the theories, and then Miller's experiment, and after that we also learned the theory of special creation based on the connotation, and then based on the conventional, not connotation, based on the conventional and religious and literature. After that theory we started learning, or we started collecting the evidences of life forms. Yes, exactly, the life forms or the living organisms have evolved to prove that number of things are present, number of evidences are present. Out of all those we have started learning about the paleontology in the last session. So paleontology is nothing but study of fossils. Fossils means what? The remains of hard part of life forms in the rocks is known as fossil. So about the fossil, collecting the fossils which is stuffed in between the rocks, so that is also one proof, one evidence of life forms that existed long before, millions of years ago. So that is one. Okay, so the next evidence what we learned yesterday is the comparativity of anatomy and morphology. So comparativity means structure of anatomy, anatomical and morphological evidences, anatomical and morphological similarities between organisms. Nowadays what we see, the organisms or living organisms, they have common ancestor. Many of them have common ancestors. So those having more common ancestors, the structure, the anatomical structure what they are having in today's organisms, somewhat it is similar, anatomically or functionally somewhat it is similar, but dissimilar in some other cases, dissimilar in other situations. We have two types of evolution. We are going to study two types of evolution under this anatomy and morphology. One is divergent evolution and second one is convergent evolution. To make it clear, to make it understand as simple as possible, we have to understand about the divergent and convergent evolution under comparativity of anatomy and morphology of life forms. So yesterday we discussed about the divergent evolution. Now today in this session we will learn about the convergent evolution. Okay, so what do you mean by divergent evolution? Divergent evolution, it refers to homologous organs. Homologous organs, it tells about the divergent evolution. Then what does it mean? It means the organisms, the different organisms have same anatomical structure but different function. Under that we gave the examples of man. Here you have to write homologous organs or homology. You can also write homology or homologous organs. So what examples we gave in the last session? We gave man, cheetah, whale, bat. Okay, so all these comes under class Mammalia. They are all mammalians, but comes under mammal. Okay, no problem. But this is different organism. This is different. This is different, and this is different. The habitat is different. The nature is different. Everything is different. But what is similarity in all these? They have. First one is they belong to a common ancestor, one thing, and one more is they have common anatomical feature. Don't consider all the anatomy is similar. One anatomical feature. Like what is that? They have a common forelimb bone. In all this, they have common bones, forelimb bones in sense all the organisms have humerus, all the organisms have radius in their forelimb, ulna in their forelimb, carpals in their forelimb, metacarpals, phalanges. So these are all the similarity present in all these organisms. Because of this similarity, they comes under the homologous organ, which refers to divergent evolution, which tells about the divergent evolution. It means they belongs to common ancestry. And why they are performing different function? The forelimb is similar. Why it is performing different function? Because of the adaptation. Earlier, apes and monkeys, like how they use their forelimb, like nowadays the apes or monkey, how they use their forelimb for the walking or climbing or holding, and somewhat some more in some more activity they use their forelimb. But the man, what it uses its forelimb for the holding purpose or for the working purpose, or in many activity it uses its forelimb. And cheetah, how it uses its forelimb? It uses its forelimb for like to hold the prey or and for running. Like this, the function differ from this organism. And whale, you know very well about that. This is the it lives in ocean or oceanic organism. It uses its forelimb for the purpose of swimming, and the bat uses its forelimb for the purpose of flying. So like this, all these activity got changed. The function is changed only because of the adaptation, but the anatomy remains same. So this is all about the comparativity of anatomy and morphology of life forms. So we completed this session in the last class itself, and one more example I gave by taking in the plants, thorns of bougainvillea and tendrils of cucurbita, they have common anatomical feature but perform different function. So coming to the convergent evolution, The convergent evolution, let me write the description of it first. It creates analogous structures. It creates analogous structure. What does it mean? Analogous structure. Yesterday itself I told you, divergent evolution opposite word is convergent evolution. Okay, so let me write this. That have similar form, or function convergent evolution. It means, don't consider this is the definition of convergent evolution. So I have just described the convergent evolution here. The convergent evolution, it means, or it creates analogy. Here the divergent evolution created homology. Here it has created the analogous structure that have similar form, that have similar structure, similar function. Okay, morphologically it looks similar, it performing similar function. Different life forms performing different life forms, different life form organs are performing similar function. When I start giving the examples, there you will come to know. Just understand the description first. But we are not present in the last common ancestors of those group. Okay, so here in all these ancestors, they had a common feature. Common feature is having the forelimb. In all these organisms, they have similar forelimb in their ancestors. But here some of the organisms, they are having similar organs in sense the organs is performing similar function, but anatomically it is far differ, and their ancestors also not so similar, not so common. That's why it comes under the convergent evolution. So let me write the examples here, then you'll come to know what I'm telling you here. So the examples are, for convergent evolution, it creates analogous organs. Examples are the eye of octopus and mammals. And then second one is, second example is wing of insect and wing of bird and butterfly. Third one is, the third example is flippers of penguins and dolphins. And coming to the plant section, so when we start giving the examples for in plants, the sweet potato, which is a root modification, comes under the analogous organ. One more is sweet potato and potato. The potato and sweet potato, they both are known as analogous organs. What is common function of between these two? The common function is the sweet potato and the potato, it stores plenty of food material, but anatomically they both are different. Sweet potato, it is a root modification. Potato is a stem modification, but they are performing similar function. What is that? That is storage of food material. So we'll start explaining the examples for analogous organ. What you have to understand here, anatomy is different, function is similar. Only you just understand only this much. It will become easy to understand about the analogous organ. Homologous is anatomy is same, function is different. Analogous is anatomy is different, function is similar. So the eye of octopus and mammal, just consider, just imagine the octopus eye and mammal's eye. Their anatomy is different, but they are performing similar function. What is the function? The similar function, similarity of this organ, it is meant for vision. Okay, one example. Second one is wing of bird and butterfly. The bird wing is far most differ from the wing of butterfly. The anatomy is different, but they both meant for their wings, their both wings meant for flying. The function is similar. And flippers of penguins and dolphins, so they both meant for locomotion. Okay, so anatomy is different, function is similar. Here, as I told you, they both meant for storage of food, but anatomy is, it is known as a root modification or root. It is known as a root, and potato is known as a stem of plant body, which they both are edible. Okay, so what you have to learn here, you have to learn the examples first. So examples are very important, my dear students. Here also examples are very important. Let me write one more example here. Thorns of bougainvillea and tendrils of cucurbita. Okay, so it's very important. So many times they asked in the examination for 5 mark, okay, or 3 mark maybe. They used to ask, and also it is there in the practical section also. So don't leave this part. If you have any doubt, just ask me. Let me clear one more time. All right. So one more evidence we'll learn in this session itself. What is that? That is nothing but embryology, evidence from embryology. Embryology, what does it mean? Study of embryo. By studying the embryo, how come we know, how come we can clear, or how come we can get the evidence of evolution of life forms? Just look at the book. Let me write evidence from embryology. Evidence from embryology. Embryology, it means study of embryo. Embryo means you know very well about the embryo. So now I'll write different organisms name here. The examples are as follows. One is a fish, second one is salamander, third one is a tortoise, fourth one is chick, fifth one is a rabbit, sixth one is man. Do you find any kind of similarity in all these organisms? One similarity is there. What is that? They all comes under vertebrates. Okay, one similarity. They all are vertebrates. And because of the vertebrate organisms, at their embryo or in the early development, they all are having notochord in their embryo. The embryo, let me draw the embryo diagram of embryo here. Somewhat it will be like this. Okay, so this is the structure of embryo. One structure of embryo, one organism embryo I have drawn here. It will be remain same in all these organisms. When you take the example of fish, the embryo will be like this. Salamander embryo will be remain same. Tortoise embryo will be same. Chick embryo is same. Rabbit embryo is same. Man embryo is common. What is there in the embryo? Let me point out few structure here. So this is considered as gill cleft or gill slits. What is the function of gill slits? Gill slits are made for respiration. So when the fish develop in the early development also, and also in the adult forms of fish, the gill slits or gill cleft remains as it is for the respiration and all. But when come to the salamander or tortoise or chick or rabbit or in the man, the gill cleft or gill slits, it evolves. It get evolved. Where it go? It get replaced. It get replaced by lungs. Gills replaced by lungs. One more thing I mentioned here, that is presence of notochord, right my dear students. The notochord is a common feature in all these organisms, but notochord which is present in the embryo of all these organisms, it get replaced by vertebral column. So this is also one evidence of evolution of life forms. Some of the organisms have similarity and dissimilarity. Taking only those similarities, maybe what we can conclude, maybe they all get evolved from one species to other species, so that we can come to know the life has formed 500 million years ago, and the earth has formed 4.2 billion years ago. So what you have to learn here in this embryology, evidence from embryology, let me tell you who published this, who identified this, the scientist name. I am going to write here the scientist name. The scientist name is Carl von Baer. He was the one who successfully gave the description of embryology, evidence from embryology of different organisms. Different organisms have same embryo, but here the gills were present in the early development, and after development, after the formation of adult, some of the organs get replaced by some organ, but the gills remain same in some organisms, in some, only in few organisms. Okay, and here also notochord present in the embryos of all these organisms. Later on, the notochord replaced by vertebral column. It was studied by Carl von Baer. So this is all about the evidences from embryology. Okay, so if you have any doubt, please ask me. Okay, so in the next session we'll move on to the industrial melanism. Okay, industrial evolution. So thank you.